Hey everybody, I want to talk to you about 5 things you should never waste time doing. A survey was done asking 10 100-year-olds the biggest mistake that they think most people make in their life. And almost unanimously, they replied, most people spend their whole life wasting time. Sadly, we think that we have time. Sadly, we always think that there's a tomorrow. But the truth is, time is a costly currency. And once we spend it, we can never get it back. And this is what makes time more valuable than money. You can always get more money, but you can never get more time. For me, one of the biggest wastes of times in my life was living someone else's version on who I should be. I believe Steve Jobs said it best. Your time is limited, so don't waste your time living someone else's life. A lot of times we waste our times and the best years of our lives by trying to live someone else's version of who we should be. And for me, that has pretty much become an epidemic. And this is the number one thing in life that you should never waste time doing. And that's living your life based on someone else's version of reality. If you're not married by a certain age, something's wrong with you. If your weight is not right, then you're not right. The things that you feel is right for you is wrong because someone else thinks that it is. To go through life, living your life the way someone else says that it should be and not making you happy should be a crime. And it is definitely a travesty that we lead our life based on what someone else thinks. This will only lead us to regret, unhappiness, and unfulfillment. And that leads us to the number 2 thing that you should not waste time doing. And that is seeking happiness. Because happiness is not something that you seek. Happiness is something that you discover. And to discover something means that you're uncovering something that's already there. You see, most of us have been taught that becoming happy requires getting somewhere or being with someone or having something. And if you've been fortunate enough to check off these 3 boxes, but you did not have the key ingredients for happiness, you've probably learned that happiness does not live in these places. The car, the house, the job, the relationship, but without happiness from within, those things will start to feel like a prison. You see, most people believe that happiness or unhappiness depends on their circumstances, and that is a lie, because the primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation. It is always your thoughts and your perception of the situation that determines whether you're happy or unhappy. So I have learned that seeking happiness is a total waste of time. If you want to be happy, just be happy. See, I know this is easier said than done, but trust me, you can do it. And it's time to stop believing that you are not the key to your own happiness. And that leads us to the 3rd biggest waste of time, and that is self-doubt. Wasting time doubting our abilities, doubting our worthiness, doubting our true power. 100% of the time, the doubt that we have does not originate from us. It comes from someone else. You see, you probably can't remember this, but when you were a baby, you were born with no doubt. It took programming and someone convincing you of what you were not capable of. You can't do this, you can't do that, you won't be this, and you won't be that. You see, all of that was a lie. But here's the truth. It's your God-given birthright to be great. See, and if you can remember the first time that your child could speak and you told them something they could not do, their first question was, why not? So from here on out, the first question that you ask yourself when you think of something that you cannot do should be, why not? And remember this, at the end of the day, it is your opinion of yourself that will make the difference of whether you can do something or cannot do something. Because it is that honest opinion that will attract what you get out of life. Because you will only attract exactly what you feel you are worth. Nothing more, nothing less. And while we're on the subject of opinions and values, that leads us to the 4th thing you should never waste time on in your life. And that is the value of other people's opinion that is not providing value to your life. Now, if you notice, I did not say that no one else's opinion should not matter, because that is also a lie. The fact is, we are social beings. So other people's opinion to us does matter. Where we make the mistake is allowing people who do not matter inside of our lives to have an opinion that affects us and stops us from achieving what we want to achieve. I want to talk about the most formidable enemy to our future, and that leaves us to number 5 on the list. And that enemy is our past. As I said before, our past is our most potent enemy. but it can be our greatest ally. Unfortunately, most people waste time in that past that does not help them. You see, Oprah once said, true forgiveness is giving up all hope that you can change your past. And that's just what we have to do to get rid of the strength and the power that our past holds over us. So with that, let's have a quick recap. 5 things you should never waste time in life. And number 1 is living someone else's version of who you should be. Number 2 is seeking happiness, because happiness is not something that you can find outside yourself. Number 3, self-doubt. Never doubt yourself, especially from the viewpoint of someone else's interpretation of what you should value, who you should be, or what you can achieve. Number 4, the valuing of other people's opinion that do not provide value to your life. And number 5, never wasting time on living in the past that is not providing productivity or adding anything to your potential future. And with that being said, I want to give an honorable mention to regret. I really wanted this one to make the list, but I had to cap it at 5. But trust me, regret is a silent killer, and it will attack any chance that you have at achieving true happiness. So there is my short list of 5 things that you should not waste time doing. Trust me, life is precious, and it is something that we should enjoy. Wasting time on things that's not going to add to us, benefit our future, or help nurture the people that are around us is a crime. I thank you for listening. Until next time.